Pickle, let's go to the hotline, and let's bring in the head coach of the 2-0, the undefeated, undisputed Rusk Eagles. We are joined by Coach Thomas Sitton. Coach, how are you?
Doing good. We're on our way right now. We just got our brand new jerseys finally came in, so we're gonna try to surprise the kids tomorrow.
Well, let me tell you, that is the most small school Texas high school football thing I think I've heard. Is everyone thinks this job is just X's and O's. You being in your car going to get jerseys is proof of the opposite, I would say.
Yeah, the COVID has put the whoop on everybody for sure.
Man, ain't that
even Nike?
ain't that the truth? Coach, you guys are off to a fantastic start there at 2-0. This is a team that only won 3 games last year. Overall, from your first 2 games, and by the way, wins over teams that aren't lunch meat in Fairfield and Crockett. What have you seen from your squad in the first 2 games that has you encouraged?
Yeah, the probably the most encouraging thing is how our effort is and how hard we're playing right now. The kids are going out on Friday nights and playing extremely hard for 48 minutes. And right now, we're having good things and bad things, and they just keep on fighting and keep on playing. And we've got a great group of kids that we're getting to coach. They love each other and just playing so hard for each other every Friday night.
Coach, you got hired there at Rusk in February, and then you got the most wild off season of all time.
Yes, sir.
How have you seen your relationship with your players in a time where you guys have not been able to be in the same room as much as you'd like? How have you gone about helping to develop the relationship with your players that we know is so important to winning on Friday night?
Well, it was tough on us at first, because we knew names, and I got to come in about a week and a half before spring break, and that's when it hit. And of course, we were, shut down forever. And we knew faces, we knew, we'd seen names on paper, and it was hard to get to know those kids. But so thankful for the UIL, letting us come back in June and get our summer strength and conditioning go and get some sports skills and stuff like that. And that's when we really started developing things as far as relationships with the kids. We've got a phenomenal staff there at Rusk that, they love coaching ball. They love the kids, and everything's just, it's meshing out real well right now.
We're talking with Thomas Sitton, the head coach of the Rusk Eagles here on Texas Football Today. Get involved with the conversation at #TFToday. Coach, one guy that I know has been really strong for you in the early going has been your junior quarterback, Owen McCrown. Here's a guy who's thrown for 4 touchdowns, run for another 3 in your first couple of games. As an underclassman, what have you seen from your signal caller so far that has you optimistic?
Yeah, he's a special type kid. He's a team first guy. And he's got some. He comes from some pretty good stock. But it's just come in and meshed with our kids well. He's an extremely hard worker. He's a great competitor, and he's got some great talent that he can throw that ball really well. And we knew that, just watching him in practice, but, when he decides to tuck it down and run with it, he could really run with it well too. So just proud of the kid that he is, just a great kid, hard worker, good leader, and just expect him to get better and better throughout the years as, he learns a little bit more and more about our offense.
What have you seen from the defensive side? You're a guy who's always been a defensive guy. Going back to your time at that title team at Chapel Hill, had obviously a great offense, but when I think of that team, I think most importantly about how the defense kind of led the way. So far, what is your assessment of your defense? I know that was a spot where this is only a team that had 4 starters back from last year, but the results seem promising, at least from my perspective, in the early going.
Well, like I talked about earlier, we are not very big at all. Mm-hmm. We've got one defensive lineman that's 173 pounds, got another one about 190, got another one about 195. but the effort that they're playing with right now, their want to get to the football has been great, and hopefully we, just continue to build upon that. Early in the year, normally when you're tracking effort, you're tracking loads throughout a game. There's usually a lot, and we haven't had a whole lot. Those kids are really playing hard for each other, and truly want to get to the football, and that's the most important thing you can do on defense is want kids to want to go hit it.
I want to ask you a little bit about your district because, you take the job at Rusk and knowing full well what you're getting into. You're in there 10-4A Division II with Carthage, Jasper, Center, who's been very strong so far. When you take a look, and I know that you're working through non-district right now, but when you take a look at your district that you'll see down the road, what's your assessment of it?
It's going to be a tough district, no doubt. You've got Carthage and all their state championships. Jasper's a prolific, great football team. Center's playing really well right now, and we just, I'm just hoping as the season goes, we just continue to get better and better and better. Where we can get up there and on those Friday nights compete real well with them and give them everything we got.
But the next one up, of course, is tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Tomorrow night, you guys are traveling to Wildcat Stadium in Palestine to take on the Wildcats of Palestine. I'm not going to ask you to give away your game plan or anything like that, but when you take a look at what you're up against tomorrow night, what do you see?
Yeah, Coach Angel has done a great job with that program. Him and his coaching staff have got those kids playing really hard. They're real big. As big a team as I've ever seen as far as up front, O-line and D-line. And that's going to be tough on us. But hopefully our kids are ready to go, and we keep playing hard for 48 minutes and come out on top with it. They run defensively, they run well to the football, and then offensively they run that wing T stuff that, it's pretty foreign nowadays. But do a great job executing it.
Thomas Sitton of Rusk joining us here on Texas Football today. One last question for you, Coach. I know you're busy on a day before a game, but you're a guy who's from Cushing. You went to Stephen F. Of course, I think most people who know you from your time as the head coach at Chapel Hill, where you led them to that 2011 title. You coached Jacksonville. You coached at Alto. A couple other stops along the way. This was your most recent job was there at Judson there in San Antonio. Is it fair to say that it was important for you to get back to East Texas? Because I just look at your resume and I'm like, boy, this is a guy who thrives in the eastern half of the state.
Well, I had a great time at Judson. Judson's a great program. Kids love playing football there. But when the Rush job came open, me being from Cushing, my wife's from Jacksonville. It just gave us a chance to come back home, and we love the pine trees. We love East Texas, and that was the main reason for us coming back. We got two boys, and love having them around family, and just glad to be back home. And like I said, we loved living in San Antonio, but East Texas is definitely home for us.
He's Thomas Sitton. He's the head coach of the 2-0 Rusk Eagles. Tomorrow night, they're taking on the Palestine Wildcats. Coach, really appreciate your time. Congratulations on the fantastic start, and go get them tomorrow night. And tell us how those kids like those jerseys.
Oh, yes, sir. Sure will. Appreciate it.
There he goes. Thomas Sitton, the head coach. The Rusk Eagles join us here on Texas Football Today.